Good day to you. My name is Maria Kondzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture, and we continue our journey through faith, relationship with God, and interviews with different people who actually experience God. Because with us in the studio is Paulina Adamek. Paulina, again, thank you very much for coming.
I'm glad to have a chance to talk with you about my experiences. Thank you for inviting me.
And again, in the previous episode, we talked a little bit about the books which are going to be published. You have two books, The Time of Dialogue and The Time of Grace. Both with very interesting covers, both are related to your experience with God and your experience of grace of God, which is also something amazing. And an important part of your life was a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Could you tell us a little bit what have you seen there, and what was your experience of this holy city?
Yeah, I was shocked because I was invited to the private pilgrimage from my friend, and it was the biggest dream of my childhood. Ever since I seen the Passion of Mel Gibson, I was just wondering how it is to be in the Garden of Olives. I didn't have a chance from my entire life to visit Jerusalem, but it was a
quick decision, yes?
It was a quick decision, and even though it was 3 months ago, it was a special journey because I was feeling that I followed the steps of Jesus. So I was experiencing a lot of different feelings, because Jerusalem is not only a Christian
city, but there are many.
But mainly it is Jewish and Muslims. Actually, it is 1% of Christians in Jerusalem, which shocked me a lot.
But also a lot of pilgrimages and a lot of Polish pilgrimages, which kind of fill this gap.
Yeah, and we were stepping along to Via Dolorosa where Jesus
went to be crucified, yes.
Yes, and was taking his cross. I was in a few different places, churches. For example, the Church of Paternoster, where Jesus
sat and spent
taught the apostles the prayer of Our Father. And I knew that the chapter about pilgrimage to Jerusalem will be special. And it was, as I wrote about 45 pages, including also pictures about this journey. And even though it was at the very end of writing the book, I have inserted it as a first chapter because it was an introduction, let's say, to other chapters. And I found out that it relates to other. For example, to a chapter about building a relation with Holy Mary.
Tell us a little bit more about your relation with Virgin Mary and this experiencing her as a mother, especially facing the fact that you have suffered a lot in your life. You suffered the illness, your own illness, but you suffered also and faced the fact that your dad went through a cancer, and unfortunately he passed away. So you had this two very strong experiences. And I would say, well, of course, Christianity puts in the center also suffering, but it's easy to say. It's much harder to experience.
Yes, exactly. Well, I was praying on behalf of Holy Mary I was just asking God to build the relation with her as with my mother, real mother, because Jesus said from the cross, "This is your mother," to John the Apostle, and Well, I knew that it is important to know how to talk with Holy Mary, but I couldn't pray, for example, at Rosary. It was hard for me. But I want to, and I have experienced a second pilgrimage to Medjugorje in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
And we'll talk more about it in the next episode because Medjugorje is a huge topic. And to all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily, I don't know if you ever traveled and visited this place, but it's absolutely amazing. And I'm sure it's also very, very worth to talk more about it. So please stay for another episode. We'll touch this topic. And again, thank you very much for watching our show.